Nolf Clipper, hi friends, Darth Momo here. Today, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures dropped 11 episodes from Season 2. Let's talk about it. So today, we got to see 11 episodes. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be about 6 episodes or so, like the previous drops for Season 1 were. I was a bit surprised by that. I'm guessing they're not going to do a bunch of drops of 11 episodes for a second season. I'm guessing it's probably going to be based off this. They'll do one more drop of 11 episodes, and it'll be a 22-episode season, like a lot of the Clone Wars seasons were. I'm not going to do a breakdown and plot synopsis of each individual episode because that is 11 episodes and they're like SpongeBob episodes where there's 2 mini episodes inside an actual episode. I'm not here to talk about 22 different small plots, especially when a lot of them are pretty basic and simple. I'm just going to kind of give my overall thoughts on these 11 episodes or what I think, where I think it's going, etc. Some things I like, some things I didn't, etc. So, what do I think so far? Obviously, if you've watched my Season 1 reviews or my, my ranking, S-tier ranking video for Star Wars, you're going to know that I'm not a big fan of this show. I watch it because it's Star Wars. I watch it because it's canon. I don't watch it because I want to, per se. These 11 episodes didn't really change that. Previously, I've put it in my S-tier video, I put it on a D. I would still probably hold to that. Again, it's obviously targeted towards, preschoolers, kindergartners, very younger kids. I'm not the target demographic, so I wasn't expecting to like it. Outside of the maybe like 1 or 2 episodes where I'm like, yeah, that was all right. That was kind of cool. And there was 1 or 2 of those here. So, what do I like so far? Well, obviously, we've talked about what I didn't like. It's pretty simple, right? It's a preschooler show. So, obviously, I'm not going to get into it. But let's talk about some things that, I do want to give it some praise for. It's definitely expanding like a typical Season 2. When you look at some of the previous long-running Star Wars shows like The Mandalorian, Rebels, you're going to see kind of a pattern of Season 1 was pretty limited in scope. Season 2 starts to expand. This definitely felt like an expansion. We continue to expand the world around us. We're bringing some new characters. There's some new costume models for the main characters. When they say new characters, they brought in like another supporting character. It's Master Zia. They brought in her Padawan, I guess. And there's a new intro, which I was kind of somewhat expecting. It's built, and one thing I like too is it builds upon what comes before. With a school or with a show targeted towards young kids like this, it's very easy to just kind of hit a reset button every single time, right? Like SpongeBob. You don't need to necessarily continue to expand upon what came before, and I feel like this show balances that pretty well. There's a lot of familiar elements from the first season, whether it's we visit a previous location or we visit a previous character, or a previous motivation was not forgotten and we just build upon that for a specific supporting character. There's a lot of that. A lot of familiar recurring characters return. So that's something I want to give it respect for, because it easily could have just been like every episode is something new. And instead we're going to not only just revisit similar things, but we're going to build upon those too. Like there's a pirate, and I don't even remember this, but I guess there was a pirate that they helped renounce being a pirate in Season 1, and they build on that in a couple episodes of Season 2. So I just want to give it props for that. But of course, there's one reason I'm mainly here, or voluntarily here. So, of course, I'm here because, like I said, I watch it because it's canon. I watch it because I want to review it. But I'm also here because there is actually one plot thread that I'm genuinely interested in. I'm a sucker for redemption arcs and kind of that journey to redemption. Season 1 pretty much just left me off on yep, that was, it's okay, we watched it. It was more or less a chore. It's done. Cool. There was maybe 1 or 2 cool moments. But the final episode in season 1, if you remember my season 1 review, the main kind of primary antagonist, Tabor, I think his name is, Tabor. So he was revealed to actually have been someone that they met previously, and I was like, wow, okay, someone who, the Jedi think is actually a good guy, and now we as the audience know he's actually, kind of got a double life, and he's a pirate. And that was a really interesting plot twist, and not something I wouldn't say it's like that unexpected of a plot twist or that like far out there, but for a show with this targeted demographic, you wouldn't expect something like that. So I was curious to see how they would handle that. And so far, I'm liking it. It's kind of a, he's not in every episode, right? He's in maybe 2 or 3 episodes, but they're clearly doing something. And, they make it obvious, like they're doing change with his character, but they're also like working with it too. They're showing some internal struggle. It's not just okay, well, actually, I'm going to be a good guy now. Like, you could see that there's some internal conflict about it. And he's slowly growing to become a good guy. There was even, I watched the new batch of shorts that they released too, and there was even a short in there that featured it, which I was actually kind of shocked. I'm like, wow, that feels kind of important. I would think that they would include that in the actual episodes and not just the little shorts that most people who watch the show aren't going to watch. So Tabor, it's kind of like Callus in Rebels Season 3. They're slowly building him up to renounce being a pirate, becoming a good guy, but they're doing it in an interesting way. It's not just black and white. He's clearly got some internal struggle. He's going back and forth. He's still an antagonist. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes in the next batch, the presumed next batch of season 2 episodes. I don't know if they're actually going to do more episodes or not. I would assume they would. The other thing I'll mention too is one other praise I want to give the show is I really like that, like, obviously if I had to put money on it, I'm going to go with the guess that Kai Brightstar would be the main singular character. But everyone gets time to shine. There's episodes that are focused on specific characters. No one's left in the dark. No one's just abandoned. It's very much an ensemble crew. I know in some ensemble shows it feels very easy to just kind of forget or sideline certain characters. Zeb in Rebels felt kind of sidelined in seasons 3 and 4. Mando kind of got sidelined in season 3. So far in both seasons 1 and 2, it does a very good job of balancing that. So I want to give it praise for that. The other thing I'll mention too is there's some cameos. Gotta love cameos. From the High Republic books, Bel Zettifar comes back. And then as far as actual cameos from like the films that more casual fans might know, I mean, of course Yoda's there in a few episodes, but we get Professor Huyang from Clone Wars and Ahsoka. He popped in for an episode. I wasn't expecting that. Still voiced by David Tennant. That was pretty cool. Maz Kanata popped up in the final episode. That was cool. Wasn't the same actress as the sequels. But yeah, that was cool to see Maz. It was cool to see Huyang. And of course, it's always a treat when Yoda's in it. And in fact, actually, besides the Tabor stuff, the one other episode moment, I guess, that you could say I actually kind of enjoyed was the episode that had Huyang in it and Yoda was in it with Nubs. That was kind of a cool episode. Otherwise, like I said, I'm still going to probably hold with a 6 out of 10 for this show. I don't personally like Star Wars targeting this younger demographic, but I think if they're going to do it, this is the era to do it. But it doesn't mean it's a show that I actively love sitting through. So I'm not holding that against the show specifically, but by all means, it doesn't mean I have to like it either. So those are my thoughts. We'll see what happens when the next batch of episodes roll around. I'm guessing it's probably going to be maybe closer towards the end of the year, but we'll see. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining in. Darth Momo out. May the Force be with you always, and we will see you back in September for LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Thank you, and may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, comment down below and hit that like button. Oh, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll find them delight.